Football Today. I'm Greg, that's Gizmo, and we are talking football throughout the course of the summer. And one place that we know they love football is in Graham, America. Pickle, let's go to the hotline. We're pleased to be joined by the new head coach of the Graham Steers, Coach Clay McChristian. Coach, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time. I want to ask you about this new job. You're no stranger here to Graham. You've been the defensive coordinator there for a hot minute. But when you got the call that you were going to be moving to the big chair, what was your initial reaction?
Oh, man, it was exciting. You know, it's been in Graham for 15 years and love Graham, love the kids, and, you know, the community is awesome. And so when you finally get that call of, you know, it's your opportunity to take it over, you know, it's excitement. You know, I tell a lot of people I'm proud of our success and our history we've had here, you know, the last 15 years. But really, I'm just excited about the future, you know, getting us going hopefully a little bit further.
Well, you're taking over the program from a guy who basically needs no introduction out there in Graham, and Kenny Davidson, the guy who's the winningest coach in Graham history, who retired back in December after 14 seasons leading the Steers. I guess I'll ask the uncomfortable question. You're taking over for a guy who's pretty much minted out there in Graham. Is there pressure on you to step in and continue the tradition?
You know, not really. That the good thing with Kenny, you know, he and I worked together, you know, so well for so many years. You know, we were co-DCs the first year I was hired out there, and so we worked together that first year under Brad McCoy when he'd hired me. And so we worked as co-DCs that first year, and then after that, when Kenny got the head job, you know, I just moved over to the full-time spot. And so we've worked, you know, hand-to-hand here for 15 years. And so, you know, the relationship that he and I had was just so good that, you know, that he allowed me really just free reign on the defensive side to do with whatever. You know, I'd come in year to year and say, hey, we need to go to this defense. He'd say, go with it. Hey, well, let's change this next year. Go with it. So it was just really easy because he and I just worked so well together for so many years, and it was a real honor to work with him all those years, and to get to take over and kind of put our stamp on it now is going to be good, and hopefully we do everybody proud.
Talking with Clay McChristian, the new head coach of the Graham Steers here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, Coach, I do want to ask you about putting your stamp on this program. You know, this is obviously things have gone pretty well. Last few years, a 10-win season this past year, and this is a program that you mentioned you've been around for a decade and a half. These players know you, but then you got to talk to them not as the defensive coordinator, but as the head coach. What was your message to your guys when you first addressed them as their head coach?
You know, really, it was just making sure that that we don't just focus on our past. You know, and I told us, guys, I'm blessed to get this opportunity off of, you know, what we've done in the past, but a big part of the question for me getting my opportunity is, well, you know, what are you going to do for us in the future? You know, what is the stamp going to be? And so I just want to make sure our guys understood that, you know, we're proud of what we've accomplished, but in this day and age, it's not about what you've done for me. It's about what you're going to do. And so let's get back to work. You know, there's definitely things that you look at when you put your stamp on things of how you want to put your twist, and hopefully those things will lead to continued success here. But it's exciting for you, and the kids were excited, and they've known me and what I'm about, and it wasn't a shock to them when I come in and tell them my expectations. They're like, Coach, we've known that for my brother and my brother's brother for all these years, so they know it.
You have been in charge of the defense for quite a while now, and obviously last year's defense was terrific, the fifth best scoring defense in 4A Division II. When you take a look at this defense for the 2024 Graham Steers, what has you excited about this unit?
Man, just so much. You know, we graduated a few guys off the D line, which we'll have to find some, but we had quite a few backups last year. We've got about 6 guys there that we rotate through that I think are going to be really good up front. Not overly big. You know, we lost a big nose guard that was a big piece, but we've got some other kids that I think can come in there and move in. But, you know, secondary wise, we've got lots of experience coming back. We've got 3 linebackers that are 3-year starters. They're going to be back. Right now, we've got a good problem to have. We've got some good young players that are pushing some seniors right now for a spot. And, you know, it's like everywhere. Anytime you can have competition, It makes you better. And so we've got some guys that have been playing for us, but some young ones that are still saying, hey, I want my shot. So we've got good competition going right now on a lot of spots.
Talking with Clay McChristian, the head coach of the Graham Steers here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. All right, Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about QB1 as well. Ty Thompson, what a nice gig to step into and take over with a 4-year starter at quarterback. A guy who I know has been terrific for you guys the past few years. The numbers are impressive. You can watch the tape, and he's quite a playmaker. But as the guy who sees him every day in practice and in the locker room, what is it about Ty Thompson that really sets him apart?
Everything. He's an easy sell. We've had college coaches come around, they call, and I tell them, I said, guys, I don't have to sell this young man. I said, he sells himself. You talk about a top 10%er. I said, Ty's a top 1%er. He's the first kid in the morning in the weight room. He's the one that's at the very end of the day, probably picking up trash as he's walking out of the locker room. He's throwing balls with people. He's a 4-sport athlete for us. I think he's the only 4-sport athlete we have, from football to basketball to track to baseball. He told me this a couple of weeks ago. He said, Coach, I think I'm going to pick up cross country and golf because I want to pick up and be a 6-sport athlete. I said, well, let's hold off on that a little bit. But he's a tremendous young man. He's exactly what you look for, character-wise, arm-wise, and he's gone through the growing pains. Nobody wants to have to put a freshman in there, at quarterback especially. And he handled that well his freshman year. And, every year since then, he's just taken that experience and ran with it. So we're ready to see, I think he's ready to see the payoff from all those years.
He's Clay McChristian. He's the new head coach of the Graham Steers. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new gig, and we're looking forward to seeing your Steers this fall.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. There he goes, Clay McChristian, new head coach of the Graham Steers, hopping on with us here on Texas Football Today.